Alrighty guys, it is Quaman here today bringing you another weekly Dragon Ball Super discussion. And I am joined this time once again with Geekdom 101. How are you doing today, Geekdom?
It's a pleasure to be here talking to you about Dragon Ball.
Yes, so without wasting any more time, let's get straight into this video. As we've noticed both on Facebook, Twitter, and in the internet that a lot of people have been talking about Gohan because of the most recent episode of Super. A lot of people are making memes about how Gohan's pretty much asking how Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks can defeat, Zamasu and Goku Black, and people are like, why don't you train yourself, Gohan? So I wanted to have a quick discussion with Geekdom as I wanted to pick his brain, and, we discussed back and forth about should Gohan feel guilty, and talking about the relevance of other characters. So, Danny, what do you think of Gohan and guilt and his whole involvement?
Well, I think because of the face that he made in that episode, some people are jumping to conclusions that it's, again, another realization that, that people are thinking that maybe he's realizing yet again that, he should train to be part of the team again. My thing is, how many times is he going to have this realization, bro? Like, you can only beat a dead horse for so long. The boy can only cry wolf so long. And in the Resurrection F arc, he saw his mentor, your favorite character of all time, Piccolo, be killed right in front of him. Right in front of you, like Cousin Harold. And, he got smoked right in front of him, like Cousin Harold, bro. And Gohan promised himself that he was going to train up. And then during the Universe 6 arc, rather than train up, he just goes and, does nothing to a conference, even though his wife and his kid are at the tournament. For no reason, because he doesn't need the money, because his wife is married to one of the richest people in the world, whatever. Not to mention that his father's best friend is the richest family in the world, but whatever, okay, whatever. And then now again, we see Trunks come back and meet him. Gohan finds out that Trunks is from a very messed up future yet again. He already knew this before, and yet he's still crying wolf, It's kind of getting annoying now. Like, how many times is Toei going to tease the Gohan fans? Like, I thought that with the episode of Super where him and Trunks had the ice cream, moment, I thought that was them telling us that he's never going to come back. But I do think that now the fans are thinking he's going to come back. And I think people need to drop that dream, man. I think people need to let it go. Like, I don't think, as much as I hate to say it, I don't think Gohan's going to make a comeback, at least in this arc. Now, in the future, could he? Yeah, I think that's possible. But for this arc, I don't think so, because it's not really about him. It's mostly about Trunks, Goku, and Vegeta. What could he really bring to the table at this point? However, it could be possible that maybe somebody tells Gohan about Trunks' untapped or newly tapped power, and maybe Gohan says, maybe I can do it too, But again, now we're going back to the whole, boy who cried wolf thing. How many times are they going to keep telegraphing that Gohan's going to get serious again? I think we should just let it go, bro.
Yeah, I think you make phenomenal points. And guys, just to kind of reiterate on some other things that Geekdom said, this is not the first time. If you use some specific examples, you go back to the Buu arc, Gohan pretty much didn't train for 7 years and his power declined, and obviously when Buu came around, with the help of, the Elder Kai, he unlocked his potential, but naturally Gohan wasn't strong enough to, keep up with the villains. But technically he was naturally strong enough, but that's actually not the discussion I'm coming about. He didn't train for 7 years, and he wasn't prepared to fight Buu if it wasn't for Elder Kai. And then when you look at the Resurrection of F arc, Gohan once again wasn't prepared, and that kind of brings me into something that I want to discuss more in the future Geekdom, where I feel like in Dragon Ball Super specifically, and even in GT, the characters are so much weaker than, I guess you could say, Goku and Vegeta, that they kind of get spoiled. And I thought about this with Future Trunks Geekdom. If you look at Kid Trunks, right, and you look at Goten too, Kid Trunks and Goten are pretty much weaker than Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, and Gohan, right? So if something bad happened, they already have 4 people, including Majin Buu if you want to count him too. They have 5 people who are so much stronger than they are that they don't have the motivation to train. So when you look at Gohan, do you think he looks at Goku and Vegeta and says, well, these guys are strong enough, so much stronger than me, I don't have to train? Or do you think he just doesn't do it because he's a scholar?
I don't know. I don't really have an answer for that. I feel like what happened to Gohan is kind of what happened to Rocky and Rocky 3. I think that he became civilized. I think that, yeah, he realized that Daddy's alive and so is Uncle Vegeta. And no, folks, that does not mean that Vegeta and Goku are brothers. Oh, it's just a joke. I think that Gohan realized that he's got more stuff to focus on, like raising his daughter and being a good husband, and he's just not going to fight unless he absolutely, needs to. And I guess it's going to have to be a situation where either his family's going to have to be in danger, or his father and Vegeta are going to be incapable of fighting. That's the only way he's going to ever take it seriously. And the problem is that with this arc, with Goku Black and Zamasu being the problem in the future timeline, Gohan has nothing to worry about. I mean, he cares about Trunks, sure, but it's not like his family's in danger. I just think that people need to forget about the Gohan thing. Just forget about it. Like, just move on. Like, I know that some folks just can't let it go, but it's like, there's no actual, there's no hints at all that Gohan's going to get a comeback. There's no hints. So just let it be. And I've already done a video. I've done a video called Did Dragon Ball Super Ruin Gohan, where I go into explicit detail about how Gohan was never the kind of fighter that you thought he was. If you really analyze the series, Gohan was never Goku. Never. Not even close. He was a different character. He was a good character. He was a great character. I think he still is a great character, but he was not the same as Goku. He's just not fit to be that guy.
Right. Well, I'll just make my final point in using Future Trunks as an example, just to reiterate again. Guys, if you look at, Dragon Ball, one thing is certain. If you look at Future Trunks, he always trains because he realizes he's the only one who can protect his future. And, when he failed, he had to go back to the past to get help. And if you look at Gohan, it's kind of like comparing him with Future Gohan. Future Gohan knew it was pretty much only him and Trunks, so he dedicated his whole life to training. So I strongly think that Gohan's lack of motivation is strongly correlated to the fact that he just has other people who can do the job better than he can. Even though, if you think about it, in terms of potential, Gohan should actually be on the path ahead of everybody. So,
well, yeah, him and Trunks should be, and Trunks realized it, and Gohan didn't. That's the sad part.
And Goten, and even Kid Trunks and Goten, if they trained as hard as Goku and Vegeta did when they were their ages, their potential would be off the charts too. So, with all this said, guys, I think this has been a good little discussion for a week because all this Gohan stuff going on. So I'd like to thank Geekdom for coming on here for my weekly Dragon Ball Super discussion. So, with everything else said, please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, as I always say, to have a great day, guys. And please check out Geekdom in my description.
Bye.